Hey guys, Mark here. In this video, I'm going to be ranking the best AI tools that you can use for branded dropshipping right now in 2025. We're literally existing in an AI revolution right now, and if you're not taking full advantage and just obsessing over this stuff, then you're just not going to make it. First up, we have Claude. Claude is an LLM, large language model, that was developed by the company called Anthropic, and I'm specifically referring to Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Now, Claude is really good for very specific things, and then really bad at other very specific things. So you'll notice, like, when I'm ranking all these tools, some of them are great for one thing, but they're just dog shit at everything else. Claude is really good at specifically writing creative copy. So when it comes to direct response copy, a lot of these really intelligent models, like if you think of something like Gemini, which typically ranks like the highest out of any LLM in terms of just like pure intelligence, they're not always the best in terms of copywriting just right out of the box. But Claude is one where even if you're just dog shit at prompting it, you're still going to get relatively good outputs from it. What I typically use this for is writing ad scripts, writing hooks, and not using anything intelligent, but really tapping into that creativity aspect. Because when I compare Claude to something like, for example, OpenAI's new model 4.1, which is really solid, pretty good at creative writing as well, I actually think that Claude is superior. And I split tested this across a variety of different types of copy, landing pages, ads, etc. Claude was king, but it's not the best. Really good, but I've actually found new solutions that are even better. So for that reason, Claude is really solid. We're gonna put Claude in the A tier. Next up on the list, we have Kling AI. Now, Kling AI is, once again, really good at one very specific thing, that is taking an image and turning it into a very high quality video. And so the main purpose that I use Kling AI for, especially with their new model 2.0, it's very solid. And what I use it for is I'll basically go to something like ChatGPT for brand new image creation. And if I want to create a new piece, for example, of custom UGC content, where there's a creator that's holding a photo of my product and I want to animate that into a video, Kling is by far the best way to actually do that as of right now. Now, a little disclaimer right now, I'm giving you guys all these AI tools. They work fantastic, but the speed with which AI is developing is like, it's unprecedented. And so what I use right now is literally going to be completely different in the next like 1 to 3 months. So take this with a grain of salt and just always stay on top of it. Kling is very good. It's not perfect, right? We're still not at the point where everything is going to be perfect. Sometimes it still takes you a few different generations to get that like S tier quality video, but still for AI UGC clips, not like full videos, but clips, is very good. It is on the downside a little bit more on the costly side if you make a lot of runs and use up a lot of tokens. So for that reason, we're going to put Kling AI as well in the A tier. Next up on the list, we have N8N. So N8N is an AI agent workflow and automation software. Basically what you can do is you can create AI agents with it, and you can connect all these various LLMs together into one workflow that basically works around the clock. So if you've ever heard people talking about like this AI agent term, there's various levels of using AI. There's like just popping into ChatGPT and like asking questions. That's like level 1. And then you move to like Claude or to like Gemini, you're still kind of in level 1. The only time that you really get to level 2 is when you add the agent component. And what makes something an AI agent is that it's basically autonomous. It has agency, which means it'll make decisions based off the inputs that you give it. So is this, for example, an ad that should be pushed to our video editing team and turned into like a real actual creative, for example? This workflow through N8N would be able to actually say, yes, this is a good ad, or no, this is a good ad, if you prompt it correctly. One of the main takeaways with AI in general is that the quality of output that you get is directly predicated on the quality of input that you give it. And so if you're complaining about, oh, my output from Claude isn't good, my output from ChatGPT isn't good, no, you just suck at prompting, or you're just not using the right model. N8N combines these tools together and literally automates shit. So like if you're worried about AI taking your job, it's not going to be ChatGPT that takes your job. It's going to be softwares like N8N. And so for that reason, I'm building a lot of stuff with N8N right now. We're going to put this in the S tier because this is literally going to be something that is changing everything right now. And if you're not using it, you need to learn how. Next up on the list, we have Gumloop. Gumloop is very similar to N8N, but it differs in one very specific way, which is that it's much more user-friendly, right? With N8N, if you're building a workflow, like I'm not a technical person. I know very basic fundamentals when it comes to coding and programming. I couldn't like code a website from the ground up. I can't code applications from the ground up. I can't even vibe code my way there if I really wanted to, right? With Gumloop, it's significantly more user-friendly. Now, the limitations are significantly greater compared to something like N8N, where there's more versatility. However, it's so user-friendly. It's like the textbook difference between a software like Make.com and Zapier. Like Zapier, you can throw anybody in there and you're going to understand it within like the first few hours. On the other side, Make obviously takes a little bit of time, a little bit of coding experience to really understand how it works. So for that reason, we're going to take Gumloop. We're actually going to put this in the B tier. The coolest part about Gumloop, in my opinion, is that you can actually create custom API integrations as long as a company has API documentation. you can just go in there and copy it and it'll custom create a new node based off the API documentation. So a lot of times you're limited with softwares because they don't have open APIs, but as long as they have the documentation, you can create a custom, which is super cool. And if you don't know what I just said, just go do some searches on Gumloop and I'm sure you'll be just as fascinated as me. Next up on the list, we have Perplexity. Now, Perplexity is another LLM, but specifically what I really like about Perplexity is their deep research model. Now, I actually just replaced Perplexity with a new model that I'm going to get to in just a second, but this used to be my go-to for deep research. When you think of deep research, this is where a particular LLM will actually start to think about how to conduct research in depth on a very specific project based off the instructions that you give it. And with Perplexity, it was significantly better than ChatGPT's deep research in my experience. It would go through and find more sources. It would create a more comprehensive and emotional report. The way that I'd use this most specifically is for copywriting research, right? I'll look at our top performing ads. I'll look through Amazon reviews, Reddit reviews, etc. I'll have all that data consolidated. But Perplexity actually just failed in comparison to another software that I'm going to get to in just one second. So for that reason, we're actually going to put this at the C tier. It's probably like the lowest ranking that I'm going to give in this entire video. It really is still quite good. It's just developing so quickly. There's already something better. And when I talk about something that's better, what I'm talking about is Gemini. Now, this is Google's main LLM that they've been working on. I believe it's the first what's called omnimodal model, which means not only is it an LLM, which can like manage all these texts, but it can also analyze image and video and voice. So it can like combine all these things together, which is insane. But what's really insane is just how intelligent the deep research is within Gemini. Just fair comparison, right? I ran the exact same prompt for copywriting research through Gemini and also through Perplexity. Perplexity gave me, I think, around 50 to 60 different sources, a pretty solid report. It ended up being around six or seven pages worth of research. Exact same prompt I put into Gemini. Gemini gave me 226 sources and 36 pages of research. And I read every single motherfucking page because it is actually very, very good. I really want to see which was the best in Gemini. Specifically, Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental is really, really solid. And honestly, it's probably my go-to LLM right now for just regular day-to-day tasks. And so the only downside to this is potentially the cost. It can get a little bit costly, especially at scale if you're using it in automations and workflows, but it's still so freaking good. For that reason, this one is going to be going into the S tier. Next up on the list, we have Grok. Obviously, this is the AI model that's associated with Elon Musk, with X, and with, you know, all that shit. And it's very, very good. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you look at the ranking of the intelligence of these models, it typically ranks pretty high and it's not super costly. I have used the deep research and the deeper research functions within Grok. And to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed. And I was also disappointed in the creativity when it came to writing copy. Beyond that, I haven't used Grok a lot. So if you guys have specific applications and use cases for Grok, you can let me know in the comments. But for me, I basically never use this. And for that reason, we're gonna put this at the C tier. Next up on the list, we have Pika. Now, Pika is my newest fascination when it comes to AI tools, where you can take any image or video, basically add new visual elements to that video. For example, you see me recording this YouTube video right now. If I were using Pika, I can have just like a dragon just randomly appear behind me and it's gonna be completely seamless, flawless, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that dragons aren't even actually fucking real. That's how good it is. It's really good. Now, in terms of practical applications into business and into e-commerce, there's only a few that I've personally seen. What I'll do is I'll take a piece specifically of UGC content, and if there's something that's not really the way that I want it to be with the UGC content, like something is just a little bit off or the background is off or something with speakers off, I want to like add glasses on the creator, for example, that's something that Pika can do. It's very solid for that reason. In terms of the overall value add, it's more of just like a cool tool to use. Like if you get an account, you'll just probably just play around with it for fun. But practical applications, I think it lacks a little bit. So for that reason, we're gonna put Pika in the B tier. Next up on the list, we have OpenAI and specifically all their ChatGPT models. Now, OpenAI recently, literally last week, launched a few new models that are the most intelligent and low cost and fastest models that they've ever produced in the history of the company. What I'm referring to specifically is the O3 and O4 models within ChatGPT and also their new 4.1 model, which is going to trump the existing 4.5 model. So for me, ChatGPT is basically like all reliable. You know, it's always there when you need it. If I do want like something really, really quick, I have keyboard shortcuts. So if I need something really, really quickly, I'll just pop open a ChatGPT window. Now for anything that involves advanced reasoning where you need a larger context window, which means like if you want to send a lot of data into ChatGPT, I wouldn't use it. I would go into something like Gemini because it has a significantly greater context window, typically a little bit better at reasoning. And honestly, for copywriting purposes, I don't use it a lot either there. I would go to something like Claude or even to Gemini. If you prompt it well enough, Gemini can be really, really good for writing copy. So use cases here, just general all-rounder. It's like your daily driver, but for specific use cases, I always go to other softwares that I've shown you on this list already. So for that reason, all reliable ChatGPT, we're going to put this right at the A tier. Next up on the list, we have Get Hooked. This is a super not humble, not biased brag. This is the software that, me and my team have been building over the past year and a half, 2 years. And this is specifically applicable to if you're running ads. So if you're running ads and you go to the ad library constantly, you got to stop that and get yourself a Get Hooked subscription, because you can basically have significantly more clarity around the ads that are performing best, the ads that are getting the most amount of conversions for your competitors. You can analyze how many creatives your competitors are testing on a monthly basis, all types of cool stuff. And once you find a winning ad, you can literally recreate it 100% with AI. So for that reason, obviously I love Get Hooked. I am super biased. That was a joke in the beginning, but definitely check it out. We're going to be putting Get Hooked in the S tier. Next up on the list, we have Manus. Manus is the newest general AI agent on the block. And it is very, very, very sharp. And there's one other AI agent I'm going to get to in just one second that's also very good. But in many cases, I actually prefer Manus for one specific reason. If you guys are familiar with ChatGPT's operator model or OpenAI's operator model, this is basically an independent AI agent that you can prompt it to do whatever you want. And it'll literally open a cloud browser and start to do everything that you want and follow your instructions. Now, I think this technology is going to evolve a lot. As of right now, sometimes if you give it your login, for example, to your Google Drive and you want it to do some things with your documents, it can do all of that for you as long as you supply those logins to Manus. The problem is sometimes Manus can be a little fucking stupid. It can't figure out some things that are even relatively simple. So I think that this isn't the fault of Manus. This is more so just the advancement of AI and where we are in the general landscape. It's still really, really good. And my favorite application for Manus actually is anytime that I leave my laptop and I'm like going to the gym or I'm going to sleep, I always have a prompt running while I'm sleeping or while I'm working. So I'm literally working even when I'm not working. It's really, really great for a lot of that manual work that needs to get done, but you don't want to be the one that actually does it. Just create some type of SOP and feed it into Manus, give it the logins that it needs, and then it'll go and execute that while you're asleep. So whatever that really annoying manual work, Manus can do that. The second really, really cool application here is that Manus can actually build web applications for you and deploy them on their own external URL. So for example, I built a very, very simple tool that'll basically analyze and pre-validate if a specific ad creative hook is going to be successful before you test it. So I'll feed it all my previous ad data, feed it a bunch of other stuff that I don't really want to get into right now, and then it'll basically give it a score of how likely that ad is to perform. You can create applications like that without knowing how to code through a tool like Manus. So for that reason, we're actually going to put Manus in S tier. Phenomenal, phenomenal software. Still a lot to be done, of course, but I think, again, all these tools are only going to get better. They're only going to get smarter, and they're only going to get cheaper. We see that with every single new update that's being announced. Next up on the list, we have GenSpark. It's specifically super agent within GenSpark. GenSpark is another general AI agent that you can use to do basically anything. A really cool feature that it has is that it can actually call on your behalf to businesses and do it completely using AI. So for example, if I wanted to find the best sushi restaurant within a 6-mile radius that has a very specific type of sushi that I like, and I want to call and make a reservation for 2 Thursday night at 6 p.m., GenSpark can literally do all that. It'll not only find the restaurant and do all that stuff, but it'll actually call to make the reservation, make sure they have the specific type of sushi, and then send you the confirmation afterwards. So it's really cool. You can kind of listen to the call as it happens as well, but they're calling on your behalf. So you have to put your number in there. But GenSpark Super Agent is actually phenomenally smart and really, really good. The one downside is that it's wicked fast. And you would think that's not a downside, but it is, because a lot of times it's not taking the time to reason through specific tasks in the right way. It's just like speed, speed, speed. Whereas Manus will take a little bit longer to complete a specific task, but the infrastructure with which that task is built is significantly better than something like GenSpark. So GenSpark is still amazing. I use it still every single day. And for that reason, we're going to put that in the A tier. And finally, last up on the list, we have Make UGC. I've done a lot of testing recently, guys, on the best AI UGC softwares out there. And some of them are really, really good. Very, very few of them are great. And Make UGC, in my opinion, is one that is great. I have no affiliation with this company. I'm actually not going to put them in the S tier. Quick spoiler alert. The reason why is because their videos are so freaking good, but they take forever to render and they're expensive. It ends up coming out to like $7 to $10 per video that you make. Now, if that's worth it for you, you got the budget, which I do. I use it a lot. But if you don't have the budget, it's not really that great. And you're limited to like a very specific number of videos based off the plan that you have. I still recommend you check them out. But for that reason, we're going to put Make UGC in the A tier. As a final note, guys, these AI tools are going to come and go, but it's very, very important that you stay on top of your shit with AI right now. I really believe that the next 6 to 12 months is going to be transformational. And if you're able to properly apply AI to your business, you can make so much fucking money. Like, it just makes me mad even thinking about how much money some of you guys are gonna make because I want to make all of it. No, in all seriousness, you need to be obsessing over this, as much as me. And if there's any tools that I miss, I'm trying to be the best at this in the same way that you are. If there's something that I missed, drop it in the comment section below. We're all trying to learn and get better. Just drop it. I want to learn from you guys in the same way that you learn from me. Obviously, there's a lot more I could have put on this list, but these are the ones that I use mostly on a day-to-day basis. So other than that, guys, if you're interested in like applying these specifically to building an e-commerce brand, that's everything that we do inside of Brand Builders Academy. So if you want to see if you're a good fit, you can click the first link in the description or just join my Telegram. It's not as good as BBA, but it's, I drop a little sauce in there every now and then. So if you want to join that, you can check the link in the description as well. Check out Get Hooked. Other than that, y'all see you in the next video. Peace.